Got it? English is there below the thing. If you can't, doesn't matter. If you can't articulate it as we are going along, just listen. That is also enough. Those who can't. मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानं वर्षेष्ठान्ते वसत् ऋषिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिं स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीढे वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेदरक्षं नमामि चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्नसंशयाः निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। चिद्धनाय महेशाय वटमूलनिवासिने सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Till here was the Dhyana Shloka. Now begins the Stotram of 10 verses. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam pashyannatmani mayaya bahirivod bhutam yatha nidraya यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोध समये स्वात्मानमेव द्वयं तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्य चित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महा योगी वय स्वेच्छया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत् कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा बोधयत्याश्रितान् यत् साक्षात्करणात् भवे न पुनरा वृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये नानाछिद्रघटोदर स्थितमहा दीपप्रभाभास्वरं ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरण द्वारा बहिः स्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भातमनुभाति एतत् समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Deham pranamapindriyanyapi chalam buddhim cha shunyam viduhu. Stri balandhajado pamastahameti bhranta brusham vadinaha. Maya shakti vilasaka pitamaha vyamoha samharine. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Rahu grasta divakare dusadrusho maya samachadana sanmatra karanopasamharanato yo bhut sushuptah puman. Pragasvapsamiti prabodha samaye ya pratyabhignayate. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namahidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. One moment. Balyadishvapi jagradadishu tatha sarvasvavasthasvapi vyavrittasvanuvartamanamahametyantasfurantam sada. Swatmanam prakatīkaroti bhajatam yo mudraya bhadraya. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Vishwam pashyati karyakaranataya swaswami sambandhataha. Shishyacharya tathaiva pitruputradhyatmana bhedataha. Swapne jagrati va ya esha purusho maya paribhramitaha. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Bhuram bhasya nalo nilo baramaha nato himanshuf puman. Ityabhati chara charatmakamidam yasyaiva murtyashtakam. Nanyat kinchana vidyate vimrushatam yasmat parasmat vibho. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Sarvatvatvamiti svutikrutamidam yasmadhamushmin stave. Tenasya shravana tadarthamananad dhyanaccha sankirtanad. Sarmatmatvamahavibhuti sahitam syadishwaratvam swataha. Siddhyettat punarashthada parinatam cha aishwaryamavyahutam. Siddhyettat punarashthada parinatam cha aishwaryamavyahutam. Aishwaryamavyahutam. Hari Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam. We, having studied the Dakshinamurti, we no longer live as a slave to childhood, youth, middle age, old age. We don't live as a slave, incessantly getting shunted from waking to dream to deep sleep to samadhi to waking to dream to deep sleep. This goes on. Involuntarily it is going on. Which, if it is happening involuntarily, means something is making us go through all this. We are not in control, isn't it? So when we talk about Ishwaratvam, we have to recognize the Aishwarya. When we recognize this all is my expanse, you have taken the position of being a Swami. Ishwaratvam is equal to Swami. Swamitvam meaning you are the. There are two meanings of Swami. Swami means I am, and Swami means the Lord of everything. So you are now the Lord of everything. Now you are no longer affected by what is taking place, because you have discovered your independent nature. Now you are no longer bound by anything or by anyone. Such a person is a mukta. Such a person is a person who has been released from his shackles. Where were the shackles? In the mind, self-imposed. Now what has happened? You have dissolved those shackles by proper thinking and you have become free. This is Jivan Mukti. Becoming free of the shackles is Jivan Mukti. But it is twofold. One is becoming free of the shackles, and on the other hand, establishing in the truth as the Lord of everything, meaning as the seeing everything as your own expanse. And in this manner, we have mastered our mind thereafter, because the problem was the mind. Now we are converted into a friend, into an ally. We have converted. How we have converted into an ally? We have transformed the nature of mind without destroying it. Before it was addicted to forms, we say you be addicted to forms. Before it was addicted to ownership of the forms, that part we have changed. We say you don't be addicted to forms. You, as addicted to form, as owner to forms, you were continuously struggling in life, you're continuously comparing in life, you're continuously running from one pillar to the post, sometimes in dreams, sometimes if you're tired of waking, you go into sleep. When you're tired of sleep, you go into dreaming. When you're tired of dreaming, you go to temple, temple to Kailash, from Kailash to again Melbourne. You keep running. Life is continuously making the mind run. It is not that you are running, it is the mind which is running. In the mind is this ego, which has owned all this and become slave of that. We are just breaking the ownership. We are saying, you want to be owner? Okay, we don't mind you being the owner. But now think in this manner, and on one hand you are at the mercy of everything that you are owning, and the other choice is that we keep you the owner, but now no longer owner of only this. You are the owner, you are the master, you are the Swami, you are the Ishwara of everything. Is that possible? Everybody wants power, control. Who doesn't want? He says, yes, I want. Think like this. He becomes, when he thinks like this, comes to the source, comes to be the Atma. At that very moment, the Ishwaratva, the Swamitva, which is the result of a release from all the shackles, with a positive take. Release of shackles can lead to void. We are not going into empty mind. release of shackles leads to abidance in the reality as the self. And that self is all pervasive. With this understanding, O mind, you program yourself, because mind is nothing but different programs functioning through. And once this happens to the mind and it reprograms itself, we are not stopping anything. Mind's job is to think. It will continue thinking. Mind's job is to, it functions under the limitations of space, time and objectivity. It will still continue functioning under the space-time objectivity. It will continue. But you are unclutched. When you are in clutch, those who know how to drive the old cars, when you have a clutch, what happens? You change the gear. Only then you are able to change the gear. And if you don't change, if you are in a clutch, in first gear, second gear, third gear, and you don't press the accelerator, what happens? Body comes to a halt, isn't it? This mind, when it is attached, it is in clutch. It needs to keep moving in order for life to move on. We are recognizing with this new information, and we are not against the mind, because we have seen that it is our own vibhuti, it is our own Aishwarya. We are saying you do what you are doing, but with this understanding. What is that? The I in the mind has discovered that it is the infinite I. And as a result, the mind has become, pervaded by the light of consciousness. When light of consciousness has pervaded, because I is the shining principle, that I was shining in the mind, through the mind, as the mind, but it was not recognized before. Why? Too much association, too much attachment, too much identification with thoughts and form. Now it has taken a dip. You're still the body, you're taken a dip in the consciousness, you come out wet with consciousness. Who? The body. Mind is coming out wet with consciousness. Still the form is there, but now it is wet. It cannot be dry. It is wet. It is full of love. Wetness means full of love, full of compassion, full of forgiveness, full of seeing the one. And how will that come? It will come by way of seeing oneness everywhere. That's what the mind, self does not see. Mind is seeing. The vision has transformed. And in this way, the Bhagavad Gita says, Dukkheshvano dignamanaha sukheshu vigata spruhaha vitaraga bhayakrodaha stita dhirmuniruchyate yasarvatran bisnehaha tattat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita. Now such a mind is no longer dukhi, miserable. Anudvignamana is no longer agitated or restless. It is not even attached to sukheshu. It is not attached to happiness also. Vitaraga bhayakrodaha, all these, vitaraga, extreme attachment, anger, is no longer its pastime. Then what is it doing? Sthita dhir muni ruchyate. He is like a equanimous sage. Our mind we are talking about. Our mind is like an equanimous sage, ever witnessing everything that is going on without interfering in anything. Why? The light of consciousness is passing through. That light is illuminating good and bad at the same time. Good and bad thoughts will come, but before we were affected, now we are witnessing. Are you affected by the war going on in Gaza? Are you affected by do you cry for the people, 500,000 people who have died in Ukraine? You watch the war and eat the food here. There, that bomb is falling. Oh my God, what happened? Hey, Bekuf. You are totally disconnected with life. I'm talking about being witness. I'm not trying to say that it is wrong. You are that time unaffected by what is going on. It's happening somewhere far away. It's nothing to do with me. That is what you think, isn't it? It's just another information for you because you have been bombarded with so much information that you have become numb. You have become indifferent to the information that is presented, as horrific as it may be, isn't it? Indifferent. Who is a Sakshi? Who is witness? Indifferent to whatever is going on. So you become indifferent to all the thoughts, good or bad. Sometimes the good thoughts will overcome the bad thoughts. Sometimes the bad thoughts will overcome the good thoughts. Sometimes the hunger will demand food. Sometimes when the food is put in, it will douse the hunger. War is going on. This is also war. It's how you look at it. But you are the witness. And being the witness, the light that is being emanated, because consciousness is of the nature of illumination. That illumination alone is expressing as the mind. All the thoughts in the mind are also nothing but that illumination, that shine. Nothing is good or bad anymore. Everything has become divinized. The whole vision has transformed. Thereafter, in life, in our life, situations will come, family is there, and everything happens in family. Birth is there, death is there, marriage is there. 2 days ago, someone told me someone has passed away. Someone told me, Swamiji, my daughter has found someone. Someone told me, Swamiji, I have become the great-grandmother. Three news in one day, one morning. But what was the response? No, drama has to go on outside. Oh, that was really bad. Oh, fantastic. Now you are free. That she's found someone. And another person, Swamiji, great grand. Oh, wow, in one lifetime. How does it affect me? It's going on. Tomorrow someone else will come and give me similar information, or will not give me that information. Life, I am, when you come to the Prince Self, you have come to the essence. Now you are no longer hijacked by emotions, you are no longer hijacked by convictions, you are no longer hijacked by doubts, you are no longer hijacked by imaginations. This is where we are caught. Our mind is caught. Once you have come to yourself, you are no longer hijacked. Yet, you are not doing the drama to show off to someone. No, you play every role as it is meant to play at that time. Not thinking of the role. You are coming from the heart. If that person is included in the I, the atma is pervading there also, here also, then when that person is sharing something, intuitively you come out with the right response. You understand what I'm saying? You're not, we use the word you making it, you play the role, you play the game, but you're genuinely playing the game. You're not play acting. From outside it looks as if that way, but inside it's just happening that way. See? So whether there is birth, whether there is death, whether there is marriage, everything is coming and everything is going. You are maintaining the witnessing consciousness. You're maintaining yourself as the witnessing consciousness. All these fluctuations in the outside world or in your inner world, in the mind, they come and they go. You are living at the principal level. You are no longer living at the periphery. Thoughts are the periphery. You have dived deep into the source of the thoughts and come to realize that I am the Atma and I am everything. There is nothing else other than me. Now, after having tasted that, after having taken a dip in the river, you cannot come out dry. After taking a dip in the Atma, you cannot come out as Jiva. You have to be the Atma. No choice. Choiceless. See? So now when I say this example, when you have taken a dip of the Atma, now you are thinking, yeah, I have to find the river of Atma. Where do I find it? Don't go into that. This contemplation has brought you to that point. So just an example that once the mind has taken a dip or experienced, it can never, yet through the contemplation, all its delusions and illusions were neutralized, they became zero, and the self was able to shine at that very moment. And the moment it shined, the mind transformed. That was the gateway for it. That was the doorway for it. As long as it was thinking, it could not transform. We are not talking about step-by-step transformation. In one go, boom, everything is transformed. Just like once the child is born, the girl transforms into a mother. Everything starts happening. Milk starts coming, taking care of the child starts happening, sacrifice starts happening. Nobody has taught her that. A child is born, nobody taught that child. He straight away goes to the bosom of the mother to suck the milk. Who has taught him? In any, take the calf, take the elephant, any living being you take, it straight away goes. How does it know? How does it know? One way we can know, say, past life impressions. Maybe. But this goes on and on and on. You are the witness, not getting anyone who is going through suffering. If you can help, help. If you can't, remain a witness. If someone is going through the joys, participate in that. Otherwise, remain a witness. But how long? Such a person cannot stay for too long, either in joy or in sorrow, in misery. He will come back. Acha, thoda bahut drama ho gaya, thoda you take part in that, but very quickly you will fall back. Chalo, badhiya, nice movie is going on. And in this way, come to this conclusion that all the events are coming, staying, and going in life. I am the unchanging one. I am the everlasting one. I am the shining one. I am unaffected by all these events that are going on in my life. Samadukha sukha swastha samaloshtasma kanchanaha tulya priya apriyo dhiraha tulya nindatma sanstutihi manapamanayostulyah tulyo mitrari pakshayoho. These are the verses from Bhagavad Gita where how this sthitadhi person, how this equanimous person functions in life. This is where the Dakshinamurti brought us. So, samadukha swastha samaloshtasma kanchanaha. The one who is remaining unaffected by the sukha dukkha, that is called as equanimity. That is called as samatvam. Samatvam is equanimity. And whoever does not have this equanimity, he is whoever has this equanimity. So you don't even have to come to abide in the self as the self. Because as long as this body and mind complex is working, the maximum you can come to by preparation, by satsang, is sama. That is equanimity. If you are equanimity and you are not affected, and your focus is not on the outside world but on it has grabbed you from inside. You cannot remain. Only few times you will go into absorption, but other time you are in the world. You are equanimous, and equanimity itself is Ishwaratvam. Equanimity itself is Swamitvam. Equanimity itself is the witnessitvam, you are the sakshitvam, you are that. So don't try to achieve something more. There is nothing more after that. And if a person is not able to remain a witness, such a person is erratic in his thinking. And what is that erratic in his thinking? Waking, dream, deep sleep. Thinking about memories of the past or thinking about future. This is erratic thinking. Another word for in Sanskrit is asanyam. Sanyam is where the sattva, rajas, tamas have become balanced. They are no longer going up and down. Sanyam is this. Asanyam is again going this way. Going again falling under the influence of sattva, rajas, tamas. Equanimity means you have become unaffected by sattva, rajas, tamas. In other words, sattva, waking, rajas, dream, tamas, sleep. You understanding what we are saying? So you have become unaffected by them. So if anything is disturbing you, or what happened, I lost the plot. Oh, come back to yourself. Again, take hold. Be the Lord of everything that is going on. Be the witness. So, here when it says, Tulya Priya Apriya Dhiraha, the Dhira Purush, the wise person, he does not go and contemplate on what is dear and what is not dear. He doesn't get influenced. Tulya Atulya. Then what is Tulya Ninda Dhiras Tulya Ninda Atma Sanstutihi. So this Dhira Purush, this wise person, he is not asanyami, meaning he is not under the influence of the sattva, rajas, tamas. And therefore he is Atma Sanstutihi. He is ever focused on the Atma. He is ever hooked onto the Atma. And because of that hooking to the Atma is his. See, there are two ways you can come. If you are for some reasons, you can, by fluke, by incidents in your life, you can come to be the witness of the situations that are going on in your life. But that one doesn't last too long. You lose the plot after some time. You can come to be a witness through pranayam. You can come to be a witness through chanting of Om without understanding. You do that, it will happen. But it is not lasting. The moment you stop, it goes away. The moment you stop pranayam, it will go away. Here we are talking about Atma Sanstutihi, he who is hooked onto the Atma, and as a result, when the witnessing happens, such a person will never fall down. There is no coming and going for such a person. He ever continuously, incessantly abides in the self. And on the contrary, such is a Swami. On the contrary to a Swami, who is there? The one who is not the Lord of everything. So Swami Paramananda, Lord of all the Ananda that is there. Either I am infinite bliss or I am Lord of all the bliss. What is all the bliss? It's not bit, little coming from everywhere. All the bliss, everyone who's experiencing all the bliss is the self alone. Meaning, another way, if you take it relatively, I am that who is not affected by bliss or blisters. See? Then only you will be in bliss. Otherwise, that bliss which is opposite of misery, then that bliss can also come and go. So here you are not Ananda, which is opposite of Dukkham. You are not just like our Sai Baba's Prashanti Nilayam. That prashanti is not, there is ashanti, there is shanti, there is prashanti. Ashanti means no peace, shanti means peace, prashanti means transcendental peace, which is unaffected by peace or no peace, which are opposites of each other. So who's Paramananda? Who is transcendental to Ananda and Dukkham, that come in, which are opposites of each other. So who is this witnessing consciousness which has come about as a result of being hooked to the Atma? The mind has got hooked, and now no longer the I in the mind is appearing as associated with anything. That I we are, that equanimity we are talking about. And that is the Swami. If it is hooked on to the world, it becomes a samsari. If it is hooked on to the self, it is the Swami. So, in this class we are all Swamis. You are all there. See? And therefore, the moksha, the liberation that we talk about, it is not created. Liberation is self-revealing all the time. It is not a product. It is not an object to be gained. It is not a result if I put hydrogen and I put oxygen. 2 parts of hydrogen, 1 part of oxygen. What will you get a result? Water. This is not, if I do this, if I do that, then I'll become equanimity, or I will get, I am liberated. No, liberation is your natural state. And it is self-revealing. This Atma that you are is self-revealing all the time. As an individual, what we did was only remove the clouds of misunderstanding about ourselves. Not about ourselves, about the world. Came to understand correctly what the Lordship means. All we removed was misunderstanding about our true nature. Are we the mother? Are we the woman? Are we the body? Are we the mind? Are we the life which is expressing through it? Or are we the Atma? And is this Atma one per person, or is this Atma the self, one without a second? All these misconceptions, misunderstandings we have cleared, that's all. When we clear this misunderstanding, automatically all the dark clouds which were covering the self, they have been blown away in the correct understanding. Where the clouds have blown away, now nothing is left. The self, which was always there, it's shining, and that you are. That you are. So that self was not created because clouds were removed. That sun was not created because the wind blew away the clouds. The sun was already there. Similarly, this self was not created, was not the conclusion of your thinking. No amount of doing is going to, or no amount of efforts is going to make that self reveal itself. It is always there. And if you put efforts, the efforts lead to more efforts. So you have to put efforts in such a manner, like our scriptures are guiding us, that they lead to effortlessness. If efforts, thinking is not leading to dissolution of thinking, if thinking is not leading to equanimity, then we are going the wrong way. So, point here is that this self that we have come to discover, that the self which has revealed itself to us, it is self-shining, it is self-existing, it is self-knowing. It is not existing because we came to a conclusion. It is not shining or knowing because there is a thought which saying, I am, I am the Swami. No, it is still there, whether you say or you don't say. And such where it says swataha, swatah siddha, it is self-established, it is self-illuminating, it is self-knowing. Only by knowledge we can come to this. A samsari who is caught up in the world of the objects and relations, he cannot come to know this. Knowledge is not about relations and possessions. Knowledge is about the self alone. Vivek. What is real and what is unreal. What is permanent and what is changing. This is knowledge. By contemplating on this, we come to know, I won't even say this is knowledge, this is Vivek. Vivek leads to knowledge. And that knowledge is not a concept, that knowledge is not an idea, that knowledge is not an imagination, it is you. The self is that knowledge. So jnana, meaning knowledge, another word for knowledge is chit. Chit is sat, means existence, and sat is chit. When I know that I am the continuous existence without a thought, when I know I am the continuous existence without a thought, then Paramananda, then Ananda, which never ends. And this is what we see in the great Mahatmas. So what you are is not something to be created. It is already. This is moksha. This is moksha. This will eventually lead to Videha Mukti, meaning very few people are there who are disassociated with their body while living, but others, once you have come to this point, the body will continue as long as it has to, and eventually when it goes away, when it comes to its natural conclusion, you who are established in the Atma, as the Atma, expressing as the witness while the body was functioning, now when the body goes away, you go back to being the Atma without anywhere to go and call as mine. That means no rebirth for you, for such a person. Anyone else, there will be a rebirth. And in this manner, iti Srimad Shankaracharya Virachitam Dakshinamurti Stotram Sampurnam. We had forgotten this line, so we came back. And in this way, for such people, those who have not directly perceived the truth as it was told in the first to the fourth verse and again reiterated in the seventh and the eighth verse, they also come to the same place. But others, those who didn't want to understand or did not have the capacity to understand, they did Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana, Dhyana, Sankirtana, and eventually come to this point. And this is the blessings of our Dakshinamurti, and we conclude once again Dakshinamurti, and may his blessings always be with all of us to bring us to that conscious silence which we always are but have forgotten. So let's not even use the word forgotten, because we are already there as it. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.